So, und damit moin Leute und herzlich willkommen zum zweiten Teil der der Archonten-Quest, die wir hier gerade spielen. Wir sind jetzt dabei. Ja, haben schon ein bisschen mit Kachina und Kinich geredet und vor allem mit Xylonen. Und ja, jetzt werden wir uns sammeln. Ich habe ehrlich gesagt immer noch keine Ahnung, was genau. Achso, ja genau, wir wollten mit Citali reden. Um mit Citali zu reden, brauchen wir ein bisschen Druckmittel, sagen wir mal. Was ist das hier? Ach, einfach nur so ein Geldsteinchen.
How's everything going?
Bitte sag keins, kommt wieder
Hi,
keine
Traveler in
Kachina um die
Paimon.
Ecke. Das
I
wäre jetzt sehr schlecht.
have bad news. Citali did not reply to our request, although I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Na super.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kinich a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Das ist schon belastend.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Nightwind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that but let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go!
Das klingt doch gut. Oh, ich wollte auch eigentlich auf V drücken. Mensch. So. Also dann. Wisst ihr, was ich gerade lustig finde? Ich wurde gerade auf Twitch, nicht auf Twitch, sondern auf TikTok markiert. Für einen Kollege von mir will einen 24-Stunden-Stream machen. Davon wusste ich nichts. Ich stehe einfach schon in der Beschreibung drin. Immer wieder geil. Naja, egal, nicht so schlimm. Wir schauen einfach mal. So, teleportieren wir uns hier hin. Ich hoffe, das hier ist einfach in der Nähe von dem Quest-Ding. Ja, die ist jetzt direkt in Natlan City. Ist ja eigentlich die Arena hier, aber für mich ist es Natlan City. Oh. Ja, da können wir jetzt wahrscheinlich lange warten.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Und was macht man in so einer Situation?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
Wir könnten sie versuchen zu
That
zwingen.
might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't a subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon.
Das ist doch schön, dass ihr so ein Verhältnis habt.
Yes, Mavuika is our leader.
Aber ein
but that
Freund
doesn't
würde
mean
trotzdem
there's
mal
any kind of tall
eingefallen.
barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Huh. So even though she's
Das
super
ist doch
powerful,
eigentlich
it
auch ganz
sounds
gut.
like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't
Ich
even
glaube, da
bother to
läuft sie.
reply to our letter. If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Wie alt ist Paimon eigentlich?
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Wie der Hintergrund sogar schwarz wird.
Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's
Hat
worse
sie
than
so
my bite.
fette Outlines hier.
Huh? Citali.
Haben die anderen auch so fette Outlines? Huch!
Your Citali? Your Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatsley. But emphasis on Eatsley, not Granny.
So alt sieht sie ja wirklich nicht
You
aus.
must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid.
Das ergibt ja gar keinen
Oh,
Sinn.
wipe that look off your face. You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Was zum Fick?
Did I forget to mention? She's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young.
Wie alt ist sie denn?
It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
Man ist immer nur so alt, wie man sich fühlt.
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you. It's
Das wird
just
jetzt gegoogelt.
your case seems really unique.
Das reicht mir, ich google das jetzt. Citali Age. Das ist das erste, was aufkommt. So, warte mal. Without the most experienced. Sie ist nur älter, aber hier steht ja gar nicht da, wie alt sie ist. Visiting here. Naja. Das bringt mir ja gar nichts. Ah. 200 Jahre alt ungefähr. Okay, das ist...
Paimon just wanted to
recht
apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Citali. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going.
Da steht gar nicht, hehe.
I
Sie
received
sagt gar nicht,
Kinich's
hehe.
letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, understood. Besides,
Understood.
just showing up is the most important part. No? But,
Ja,
of
ist okay.
course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me.
Ja.
At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me.
I mean, das hast du davon, dass du zu spät bist.
Anyway,
Wer
that's
zu
the whole
spät kommt,
story.
den bestraft das Leben, nicht wahr?
honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
Frech.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
Es ist so eine awkward
When the Masters
Situation.
of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway,
Diese Stille
Shannon,
aber auch.
I
ist
heard
fast
that you
crazy.
require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before.
Also es
I
geht jetzt
see.
darum, dass ich
So
einen
Mavuika
alten
has asked you to
einen
forge an
antiken Namen
ancient name for an outlander. Well, that would. And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition.
Dann
He must have been
müssen wir wohl
coerced
mal mit
somehow.
dem
Yeah, that's why I came here to ask you.
ein Wörtchen reden, nicht wahr?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here.
Sie begrapscht mich. Ich werde von Omi begraben. Scheiße.
Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold.
Ach Mann, ich verschluck mich die
Baleful
ganze
thunder
Zeit an
and
Luft.
wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet a weary
Das
yet
heißt-
free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest, well, those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night.
Das ist richtig. Ach Mann.
Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the traveler gonna be okay?
Ah, shoo!
Was ist das? Was hat sie da weggemacht?
Ah, that should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
Ah, it's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
Ach Mann. Ich weiß gar nicht, warum ich die ganze Zeit so komisch husten muss.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroran back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Waifu of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our land. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Waifu of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the Lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance.
Ich dachte,
I'll
die
make a
Leute
list.
von
I
Natlan
can go.
träumen nicht.
It'll
Nee, warte,
probably
das
be a
war
long
nicht.
list,
Nee, war
so
das aus
better
einem
leave
anderen
it to
Spiel?
someone who knows.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroran.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please.
Ach, Ivo, die machen wir platt, die Fatui. Als hätte ich die nicht schon,
All
als wäre
right,
das
now it's
erste
time
Mal.
for us to catch that brat and bring him back. Oh,
Okay,
I'm
dann let's
sorry I
go.
made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroran's place. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which
Ja,
I
diese
assume is
komischen
because their
Läuse.
keeper has been gone for quite some time.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Aha.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him?
Maybe, weil gerade er ja unscheinbar ist.
That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back.
Auf jeden Fall. Versuchen wir gerade Kabel hier neu einzustecken. In der Hoffnung, es funktioniert hier gerade ein bisschen, dass der Ton damit ein bisschen besser wird.
I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But please help.
You can count on us.
All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroran was seen last.
Okay. Ich weiß nicht, warum mein Headset unterdrückt jetzt neuerdings Stimmen. Woran das liegt, keine Ahnung, aber irgendwie funktioniert das Stereo in dem Headset nicht mehr so, wie es sein sollte. Keine Ahnung, woran es liegt. Honestly. Aber es hört sich dann halt auch ein bisschen übersteuert an, wenn ich den Ton in eines der Ohren verstärke. Aber dann geht's wenigstens. Na gut, muss ich jetzt in Kauf nehmen. Keine Ahnung, woran es liegt.
This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroron speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroron really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with the Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him, or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kinich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless like this.
Auroron? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant, and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him.
Oh, das ist
He learned a lot from
wahrscheinlich
us,
nie gut.
and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what
Klingt aber eigentlich
He's
sau
always been
entspannt.
such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place.
Und an sich klingt das ja wirklich
Oh
nicht
well,
schlecht.
let's keep looking. He can answer all of our
Was
questions
hat sie
once we
eigentlich für ein
find him.
Element? Kyro.
He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things.
Hallo, was ist denn das jetzt schon wieder für eine Aktion hier? Werde ich schon wieder runtergebuttert, ja?
Here, give me your hand.
Irgendwas hat gerade geploppt im Ohr, das war nicht gut.
How about now?
What do you see?
Jetzt kann ich eine Spur sehen, ja. Vielleicht hatte der einfach auch der Elementarblick
Whoa,
gereicht.
Paimon can see it now too.
Hast
That's
du was
right.
abbekommen?
I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! Citali might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
Schauen wir mal.
What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me?
Warum hat sie Fragezeichen?
Is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech pattern, or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting...
Huh?
Ups, lesen wir jetzt aus der Sinn hören wir jetzt aus der Sinn ihre Gedanken.
Was that Citali's voice?
Warum können wir eigentlich telepathisch kommunizieren? Warum kann ich eigentlich mit Paimon kommunizieren telepathisch? Aber wenn ich mit ihr...
It's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends.
Warum überrascht mich das überhaupt?
Oh? They appear to be feeling quite...
Wow. Wofür war das jetzt überhaupt da?
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there.
Das Ororons Camp?
Yep. Judging by Paimon's experience as a guide, it definitely looks like people set up camp here.
Da... Wow. Stark.
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see.
Oh, jetzt bin ich mal
Paimon
gespannt.
sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only we've got to find him. Fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire. No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt. Okay, dann lass uns dann mal dem Trail weiter folgen. Jetzt Platz. Zack! 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 Wunderbar. Da hinten steht doch irgendwas, oder nicht? Habe ich mich da
There
gerade
are
verguckt?
traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air.
Kinich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here, judging from what's left on the scene. There must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways. Both the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that.
Zufrieden mit, wie die Fatui mit ihm umgegangen sind.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Auroron wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
Könnte schon sein.
Given there are two signals leading from here, we should split up as well.
Ja, aber ich kann das doch gar nicht ohne dich sehen.
I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Auroron, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You little brat.
And off she goes. Traveler, did you hear all of that as well?
Ja, hört sich doch gut an.
Once Citali left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name inside Paimon's head, but there was no response. So you were thinking the same thing. Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads. She did say that that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of her.
Ist halt auch gemein, dass wir einfach in ihren Kopf reingucken können. Do. Gut, anyways, ich würde sagen, das ist auch eine Sache für eine nächste Folge. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zusehen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Bis dahin. Ciao. Ciao.